Hello, everyone, and welcome for joining our very first webinar, Program Insights. My name is Chisa Conrad, and I'm going to get us started and then pass everything over to Carrie Treadwell here shortly. Just a few business items as we get started. There'll be plenty of opportunity at the end of the presentation for Q&A. If you have any questions along the way, please post them in the chat window by clicking in the chat button at the bottom of your screen. There you can direct questions to the group or direct them to Carrie Treadwell, who's our Senior Director of Research here at NBTS. To allow our speakers an opportunity to talk and to eliminate background noise, I went ahead and already muted all of our participants. Again, any questions you can post ahead in the chat window. Without any further ado, I'll introduce Carrie Treadwell, and she can go ahead and take it away.
Thank you. So I want to welcome everyone to the National Brain Tumor Society's Defeat GBM Research Collaborative webinar. As Chisa said, I'm Carrie Treadwell. I'm the Senior Director of Research for the National Brain Tumor Society. I'm also the Managing Director for Defeat GBM. We'll be providing a brief overview of the program today, and we also have two of our PIs with us who will take a deeper dive into the projects that are being conducted under this program. But before we do get started, it is important for us to review NBTS's mission. It drives all activities that we do at the National Brain Tumor Society, and Defeat GBM is no exception. So the National Brain Tumor Society is fiercely committed to finding better treatments and ultimately a cure for people living with a brain tumor today and anyone who will be diagnosed tomorrow. And this means affecting change in the system at all levels. So I have the honor of introducing the presenters for today's webinar. They are all seminal leaders in the brain tumor field who have provided tremendous insights into this disease and provided a definitive path to new therapies. Dr. Young is a professor of neuro-oncology and cancer biology, as well as the Margaret and Ben Love Chair of Clinical Cancer Care. He has served as chair of the Department of Neuro-Oncology since 1999 and is co-director of the Brain Tumor Center at MD Anderson Cancer Center. Dr. Young is also a strategic advisor to the National Brain Tumor Society, and he is scientific director for Defeat GBM. Dr. Young has been recognized as one of the best doctors in America since 1992, and I can personally attest that he is beloved by his many patients. So thank you for being here, Dr. Young. Dr. Fenari is the Senior Investigator at Ludwig Institute for Cancer Research at San Diego and Professor of Pathology at the University of California, San Diego School of Medicine. Dr. Fenari has also served as a critical member of the National Brain Tumor Society's Scientific Advisory Committee, and we are always very grateful for his wise counsel. Dr. Ingo Mellinghoff is the Vice Chair for Research in the Department of Neurology and the Evan Family Chair in Neuro-Oncology at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. As a physician scientist, he brings an invaluable perspective to the development of new therapeutic targets. Dr. Mellinghoff is also a recipient of the National Brain Tumor Society's Mary Catherine Callisto Systems Biology Initiative Grant Award. So thank you to all of you for being here today. We're very grateful for your time and your participation. Dr. Young is going to provide an overview of the Defeat GBM Research Collaborative. And Dr. Young, I'm going to provide you with control of the slides.
Thank you, Carrie. So as Carrie mentioned, let me first welcome all of you to join the first NBTS webinar on Defeat GBM. Defeat GBM is a very bold program that is a brainchild at NBTS and the Strategic Advisory Group. As you can see in this slide, the Defeat GBM initiative is a scalable initiative that involves many investigators, several institutions, and we want to form a interdisciplinary consortium. And this consortium will focus solely on making an impact on survival of GBM patients. So the mission of this initiative is to enable us to increase the 5-year survival for GBM patients from the current level of 10% and double it to 20%. That's what we want to do. And as mentioned by Carrie, we started with assembling a group of prominent scientists in the GBM in the brain tumor field, as well as drug development, including industry representative, to form the initial strategic advisory group that including myself, Dr. Webb Cavaney from the Ludwig Institute, Dr. Anna Barkov from the Arizona State University, Richard Gaylor, who's the Vice President of Oncology at Eli Lilly, as well as Dr. Louis Canley from Cornell University Cancer Center. And all these people help us to formulate the thinking about what we can do and what we should do and how we can do it to really advance the defeat GBM research, and then to really achieve the initiative. Now, one may ask, why now? Well, now is a good time to do it because we, in the last 5-10 years, we had acquired increasing amount of information and knowledge about the genetic background of this terrible disease. And we're hoping that by knowing the genetic background will help us to identify target and way to treat this tumor, and target that we can develop new drug and to make a strategic impact in this disease. And so the overall concept is that we think we can achieve cure of the disease if we can understand the disease better, finding out all the right targets of the disease, and we can develop drug against each of those targets, and drug that not only against the target but also get into the brain, so that we can have the right drug and for the right target, but also have biomarker panel or biomarker available for us to select the right patient, so that when we can line these three go up, then we can shoot for the cure. So the Defeat GBM, as an initiative, have 4 major components. We start with discovery. Go into the laboratory, go to biology to discover new target and new knowledge about the disease. And according to the target and knowledge, we develop new drug, and making drug that target can inhibit the target effectively, can get into the brain effectively. We also want to develop biomarker panel or biomarkers that allow us to select the patient, making sure that we have the right kind of patient that will be sensitive to the drug that we develop. So again, the drug can have major impact on the patient. And then we want to validate these laboratory development in the clinic. So in a way, we want to do very well-designed, smartly designed clinical trial to validate the discovery on the laboratory side. That as a whole is a complete package of Defeat GBM. So the goal, as I identify in the next few slides, we're going to start with a core group of investigator in institution for this consortium. Starting with the 4 element, first core that will be that will be investigated and directed by the 2 investigators you see here, Dr. Cavaney and Dr. Fenari from the Ludwig Institute, UCSD. They will be working on identify the right target associated with resistance. Why, and help us understand why the tumor is resistant to the treatment that we apply to the patient. And the second core that is housed at MD Anderson, as well as Memorial Sloan Kettering, will be in charge of finding the right drug. We want to develop the drug, not only developing de novo, but also finding it from some of the existing drugs or even FDA-approved drugs, so that we can use them to apply to brain tumor patients to attack the target that we discovered. And the third element and the third core is selecting the right patient, as you mentioned. Dr. Paul Michel and Dr. Tim Klaus here at Ludwig and UCLA team up to work on this core to develop biomarker panel from patient's material, so that we can go to the patient and study their tumor and identify which group of patients will be sensitive or resistant to the treatment. And lastly will be the the core team of clinical investigators that allow us to perform high level innovative clinical trial. We can look at multiple drugs at the same time or multiple combination at the same time in a very rapid, adaptive and selective fashion. That's what the clinical core will do. So from the initial group of advisor, we have extended the advisory group to a more expanded way of give us input, a broader input from the community to look at what we're doing as a consortium, and also give us accountability of what the group is doing. So the newly expanded strategic advisory group, or we call scientific advisory council, it will include Dr. Berger from UCSF, Dr. Bickner from Duke, George Dimitri from Dana-Farber, Bill Hahn from Dana-Farber, and expanded group. And so now I'm going to go to the next talk. Now, Dr. Fenari will give us a discussion on core one, on the study on the resistant mechanism. Take it away, Frank.